somber Doom setup coming out from Second Wind.
Kind of hope they still run with this. I mean, for the Second Wind, especially like on the defense here with this Doomfist, doesn't make a whole lot of sense having that Doomfist up, obviously, with the Ana to kind of protect her. And actually, one thing we've seen the Doomfist do in EU, actually, especially on maps like Volskaya, is this defensive Doomfist where he holds up on the high ground, just making sure no one can jump on the supports. I can't imagine we're going to see this here because Saucy obviously is on that Sombra. Going to hack that big health back in the front line, get some early damage as well, or just a little bit of scouting. Now, I'm going to see it's going to be Fire and Mercy coming out the gate, though. Going to be quite a problem. Although for Fried, he's going to have to be the main recipient of a lot of those rockets. They're going to have to demech him quickly, and then there's really no way you can get him out of the skies unless you go for some cheeky hacks.
Yeah, it's certainly difficult. I mean, the interesting thing for Toronto is I think they were expecting to see an Heurix composition here. That's why you run this double projectile setup. It hasn't really been the case. And Nero right now is just kind of wondering, where do I shoot these rockets? I guess I'm going to look for anything that's there. Looking for Ezire, going to force him out a bit. But Toronto doesn't have the ideal setup that I think they wanted. But asking gets the early pick off the Saucy. That's big.
Oh, so Saucy was just out in the open. I'm not sure what he was doing, looking for his keys to the car, I think, maybe. He kind of fell over as Asking just whipped around, shot him in the head quite easy. And now Asking has that high ground, very important to him. He's going to be able to take out the Doomfist as well. A complete stomp and a rollover here coming through.
Yeah, Toronto's just slowly but surely getting one pick off to another. I'm not sure. This has been probably the most discombobulated fight I have seen alternate. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason. There is a dragon going right down Broad Street here. Fried, though, getting the nano boost. Going to come back over to the point. They've already given up 2 ticks, but you might as well buy a little bit of time, try and get an ult out, and they do make Crackalacken drop the self-destruct. So when you really want to blow up an Ana, I guess.
Oh, okay. He did manage to get the DMech as well, and Fried will end up going down. Asking finally finds Saucy once more. A little bit of revenge there for Haku, however. There you go. Swimmer jumps to the skies, activates that Valkyrie, is going to get the rares. And the key thing there was, like, Saucy got caught out so early. So that's already a ton of damage down. Damage actually lost for the side of Second Wind. And as soon as that's gone, the Doomfist has to play defensive in that regard because he's going to need to be able to peel for those supports. Although peeling away from a fire when you've only got the Diva to actually deal with you, like, there is absolutely no way you were going to win that scenario. As soon as that pickoff went in, it was going to go the way of Toronto. And now we're going to look at Saucy, who has that EMP coming up next. He has to be able to lay it down and take Nero out of the skies. That's going to be his main point of ingress, making sure they flip the wings and just take him out.
EMP! He gets it with one clip in the head!
How?
What in the world?
This?
He decides, I don't want to turn out everyone's lights. I'm just going to turn out you. Gets the hack going in. All right. High value coming in from Saucy. And, you know, go back to that first fight. I think it was just a case where neither team actually won the fight what they ended up fighting, but it didn't work out for Toronto.
What? Like, and now he just goes to the EMP. Like, this is so free. Saucy, what are you doing? You've only got one backup of the Winston. Asking's just going to back up, no worries. Maybe a little bit too forthcoming than just there. Has got the blade that were online for the Genji, and they are going to take out Decon as well. That Winston target not yet going down might just be the disruptors they need.
This is some sloppy Overwatch right now. There's a time when you're watching Overwatch, you're like, this is good Overwatch. This is a slop fest right now. This is pigs in the mud, and there was a rainstorm last night. It's all over the place. And I will say, Second Wind, they have bought some time here.
They have. They've actually switched over the Sombra of their own. Asking has got ultimate. Nothing really to combo with like the Graviton Surge, but with Asking finding yet another pick. Not sure how. Apparently hit scan. Hanzo, it doesn't matter. He's still going to hit the arrows. They are just going to move through the base. No worries. They haven't even used that Dragon Blade. They couldn't actually make it go off, and they have got that nano to use, yes, but Asking is just clicking head after head after head, and there's nothing that's stopping him right now on the side of Toronto.
I mean, the problem is why you haven't seen the Dragon Blade is that we haven't seen anything that even resembles a real fight. It's just been, all right, you're going to fight over here, we're going to fight over there. 6v6 Overwatch, that's not a thing. Well, it might be now. Ezire gets the boost, moves in, gets slept, only gets one before taking a nap. But it still might have been enough damage here. Second Wind, no, Asking takes out 2. Saucy gonna have to invest the EP, drops EP over the top. And now the fall through, it might not be there.
Yeah, I mean, that EMP, again, Saucy using that EMP when there's not really that much follow-up. They already won that fight. A beautiful positioning from Asking there, I've got to say, on top of that gel. As soon as that Genji did get slept, the Transcendence come out to try and actually save him and the rest of the squad so they didn't get completely snowballed, but a clean arrow to the head will just take him out 100-0, no worry. And now we're seeing Asking on that McCree just to try and deny Saucy.
Got the self-destruct Crackalacken, got 2, both supports down. Read the situation, just lobs it in there unassisted. And that's gonna make things so difficult for Second Wind here, where now it's just free cleanup for Asking.
All right, Saucy's gonna have to just try and farm some ult at this point. Instantly spotted out. Hope he has Translocator. No, he does not. Deco to be able to take him out quite easily. I like asking, switching over to this McCree now, trying to deny that Genji and trying to deny Saucy. I've got to say, man, you got to hold those EMPs, dude. Like, there is no way you got to go in like that twice in a row where you EMP and then you've either won the fight already and then there's no backup. He really needs to kind of lock down the communication with his team. Didn't even follow up with the Dragon Blade because that was already used previous to the fight. Now Deco just sitting on the cart with Dino, and this is going to be the massive problem here because Asking has this massive line of sight now on this McCree. He's going to be able to lay down so much fire. However, switching over to the 3-3 on the side of second wind, this might just be where they need to come back in. They need to be able to run at Asking and take him out first.
Asking is the one that needs a
EMP.
Let me just say, oh, EMP out early. Here comes a Deadeye, looking for it, gets a Kawa, and that's going to be more than enough. Got plenty of damage onto the back line as well. 3 early pickoffs coming in from Toronto, and they're starting to look a lot more solid here, where, let me just apologize to you, Jaws, the beginning of this match, NA Overwatch, all memes aside, is normally not like that. I'm sorry you had to experience how the beginning of this match was, but now teams are looking better.
Hey, I saw the show match. I was there, man. The NA versus EU show match. All thanks to me.
Here we
Clean,
go.
concise gameplay. Just saying. Nero's going to be able to move in with the damage boost. He's going to be able to charge it up rather quickly. Asking still got those massive sight lines. However, nano boost onto Decod. He's pushing forward.
Decod making some nice space here, going to the back, supports in his line of sight, takes the car, and it's how time to beat Ana against the corner, nowhere to go. Haku just completely isolated. Toronto moving their way forward, Asking picks up Fried, and Toronto now looking like they might be saying a very quick time indeed. 1:49 left. Everything to their end. The grab from the defense doesn't do anything, and this limo parks successfully. Good parking job at that.
Oh, I love Asking at the end there died to self-destruct because he was in high noon and he couldn't move. He was like, please, 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 someone block this. He ends up getting out of it but gets deleted anyway. Again, that was just off one pickoff. Also, I got to say, Nero on the sidelines for that entirety of that fight, completely ignored, was able to get the hack off straight onto the D.Va, disable the defense matrix, and all the supports had to then scurry back to try and help the D.Va, help her heal up. But again, Decob with the primal wage in Winston had about half that nano time just in normal Winston mode, and then pop the primal and smacking those hands around with the nano boost. Just a whole lot of damage. Not sure how he caught Lucio, but he managed to in the end. 1 minute and 44 seconds on the timeback though. That felt a lot quicker than it actually was.
It really did. I think it's just because the beginning of the game was so discombobulated where I'm not entirely sure either team really liked what they were seeing, but certainly Toronto got the better of it. But, you know, credit where credit's due to the very end for Decod, where it's so possible for teams to delay so long on the final point of Hollywood. But, man, Decod got in there on not one, but both supports. And, you know, you play a lot of Ana. How bad does it feel as an Ana when you got Winston in your face, you're stuck in a corner, and all you can do is hope for sweet demise?
Well, it feels worse when you miss the sleep dart on him when he's right in front of you, especially if he's going primal. But like, there's nothing you can do. You're like, okay, I hit sleep maybe, but if my teammates wake him up because it's solo queue, then yeah, I'm basically dead. Like, you can try and nade yourself and hopefully hit the Winston, but you know he's got that Q ready. If you're going in that deep with the nano boost, you know for 100% sure, like, he's going to have primal rage, jumps into it, and then you're pretty much done from there. You're going to need some real peeling from the Lucio. We're going to see what they're going to roll out the gate with, though. Looks like they're going double projectile on the side of second wing. Go for that Junkrat, and, well, we're going to see that fire once more. Not too much of a surprise, but Asking on the soldier, this is actually what I wanted to see. Up in this high ground against this Orisa, but this is exactly what Toronto did when they were on the offense. Go double to projectile, predicting that they were going to hold up on the high ground. This time, though, it's going to work out for second wind.
Ooh. Asking almost takes down Izar there. Izar gets drilled, has to back out a little bit, and this is all about protecting the soldier, right? Where he's going to be putting out incredible amounts of damage. Engage now starting to come in. Winston goes in, Asking looking for Izar, but Decod able to get with a Kawa there because of the support from Ana. You get the nade there. Izar just take it on down. Nowhere for the mercy to go, aside from, hey, you took down the fire, you might as well bring me out as well.
Dino's been just a killing machine, man. Like, oh, I shouldn't say killing machine. He's not killing too many people, but he's making sure those fire nades land on key targets. You saw there, Dino being rather aggressive. Actually peeked his head round the shield, threw the nade down, instantly managed to catch that D.Va and the Winston. This is what I said previous to the match actually starting. You got to eat that nade with the defense matrix. If you don't, team fight instantly won. Asking was there, raining down the fire. Also with Nero on this Junkrat. I really like this pick also. You can lay down the trap next to Ana, and on top, anybody jumps in, they're going to have a bad time. Exactly what's happening to Winston right now. Nano boosted in, damage resistant, no worries.
Yeah, it didn't matter they had nano boost. He still went down. That was merely a minor impediment. However, they lost asking decode early. They're going to have to invest the res on the asking, and now down. It's all about asking. Visor out, looking for it, picks up 2. The nano visor is enough to bring it around. What an impactful res after he got picked off early. The defense for Toronto is going to hold.
You see Isaiah like force himself in the lower cafe with the pulse rocket. He's like, please, 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 no one kill me, no one kill me. And Dino was literally just waiting for him. He's like, I know you're gonna look for some cover, man. Nanovisor to use, that's 2 big ultimates down. However, with Nero using that Riptire, he just needs to catch off either Mercy or Haku here. If you catch off one of them, Mercy's not gonna be able to attack onto that Pharah. We'll just take out Saucy, no worries.
Okay, it's going to be using the res here, but here's a problem for the offense is that Swimmer has Valkyrie in tow, almost certainly going to open with it preemptively here, but they also might wait for Nero. Nero, he's hiding in that Junkrat spot where rats hide in attics. That's what we're looking at right now if you look at Nero. This is a great spot for a Junkrat, and he's holding on to the tire here. Thought he would have let fly him for a moment, but if you're Toronto, you can just wait. You can wait a little bit more, but now the fight's going to engage, and you see Nero going to back out. Now here's the time for the tire. Moves on forward, looking for anything. D-Mac, someone in the back. It's going straight for the Ana, and Haku's out early.
Haku's gone. All you needed to do is take down one of those supports. That's exactly what happened. However, they waited a little bit too long, which means they do have resurrection. So he's going to be able to come back alive. And Asking went very aggressive there. Knew they had the advantage in the Mercy getting the res. Actually, Crackalack and losing the mech might just be worse for wear. However, Winston going the aggression and Asking still there with another visor available to him. But he's getting surrounded. Isaiah open up. The ult.
Oh. Well, he pops it early, but it's enough to deal with the rain. He's hired with 3 before asking to get back over. But hey, we got nano boost here. Doesn't need a visor, just gonna go for damage. However, they need to get people back in the point. The offense with the numerical advantage. Toronto not giving up yet, but it's just too much for asking. You can't take down 5 people like that. And that is finally gonna be second win, getting the payload moving.
Yeah, he was even purple there, and Mercy was still poked him and like, I believe you're going to be unpurple very, very soon. Decode's back onto the point, still contesting, burning a little bit more, 99.9%, finally ticks over. 3 minutes now on the street phase, and Isaiah had nano boost applied. They did actually use that in a hurry, it seems. I'm not entirely sure why they used that fairly early on. Asking gets spooked off the roof. It might not be too much for an issue for him, though. He's still got Mercy to back him up.
I think it really came from the pure terror that, guess what, Hammond is coming in. You don't want it to be delayed. They don't see what we can see, that there really wasn't a big threat. They said, look, just nano, make sure we take it. We don't have much time. They're down to a final 2.5 minutes here.
2 minutes. However, switching over to the Genji is going to be a bit of a menace for Saucy now. He's on the hands, obviously. One reflected arrow is going to be pretty easy. Zico gets a nice knock up here. Nero jumps straight on in, straight into a nade. He's going to have to climb the wall. Receiving a little bit of heals from the Mercy. Only just manages to survive. That will be the ultimate popped as well. Valkyrie keeping everybody alive and well on that point. Decode just playing a nuisance. Does get put to sleep, however, but Asking moving forward, earning himself the 3rd tag.
Everyone's moving forward already. Toronto's just going for it. It's like, oh, we got one pick up. Let's get more. Decode gonna roll right on in. Asking, holding in the back. Tag visor up. Fried gonna get staggered even more. And that's a ye old swap from Honto. The disappearing Dragon Act as Toronto is again just buying so much time.
Asking's got his third ult. Like, this is insane amount of ult charge right now. And even Decode has his. He jumps straight on in, gets the ground pound on a few people. That's very easy ult charge, and he can get out very quickly also. But Haku somehow taking out Swimmer in the air.
This is just activated hard mode for Asking. It's fine. It's like, I don't have a Mercy. How cute. I'm going to activate the visor anyways. Let's see where this goes. Rolling. Almost gets talking back. Does. Gets the revenge set up. I mean, yeah, attack visor. He's going to hit it, but still has to be in the right spot. Does give up his life for it. Fried. Bit of trouble here. Can't remac. Respawn's coming back in for the defense, and even if they don't win this fight, which is looking like they still might, they're still buying so much time.
Decode is back into the fight. He died fairly early on. There's Nero. Nano boost onto the blade, but instantly slept as well. Oh my goodness. Arna's just playing this game perfectly with the nade also to make sure the denier for the healing onto Nero. Doesn't look like Decode's going to be able to escape alive. Self-destruct up in the air. Most of it blocked by the bubble. Perfect recall there from Saucy as well just to escape the danger.
And Toronto, here's the thing. We're down to the final minute. The payload hasn't moved much at all in the last little bit. You're going to see the fight now start to heat up a little bit. You're seeing the offensive second win, trying to take to him. They find Dino early. Here comes Izar, moves in with the blade, finds Swimmer, ends up falling, but that's going to be enough. Second win, finally getting a bit of momentum here, but they're down to their final 30 seconds.
So all they needed was that blade just punishing that backline, and look, they had to, Toronto actually had to touch that. You saw Decode just jumping in, knew he had to buy as much time as possible, activating those adaptive shields. However, they've still got another fight. Saucy is going to wait for everybody to come through the gate, use that AMP, but he used it on the wall. I think they only got one.
Yeah, if it didn't get as much as he wanted, their second win, they could have held off a little bit. It was up to the offense to come on over, but they punished Econ immediately. He went out way before the rest of his team. Thought he could live longer as a Hammond. 6-on-5 for second win. Barrier, though, about to go away, and Asking and Narrow, they're ready to go. Here comes the Blade. The attack fire's out. A ton of firepower in for the defense here. And Asking, so much room to work with. Narrow setting him up. 2 early pickoffs for the Genji, and Asking fights the Diva man to mech. And that's going to be enough for Toronto here. They hold off on point B. They're going to take the map.
You normally say that's an overinvestment, but with no Transcendence, no big Lucio sound barrier, there's no way you're going to be able to survive against a Tap Visor and a Genji Blade. You see the nano usage actually onto Asking to make sure he can actually build that up a lot quicker and actually couple it with Nero's Blade. We'll see what blade this actually is. Obviously, it's not going to be the one that got slept, or at least multiple times. It was the last one.
Well,
all right.
The scary thing here is that from the perspective of the offense, yeah, there's Narrow coming out the Blade, but Asking has also been ripping them apart with good positioning on Tac Visor, so it's like, ooh, what do we really care about here? Do we care about the Soldier? Do we care about the Genji? And end of the day there's really no good decision, because the odds are, whatever you do decide to focus on, the other one's going to get you.
I was just so like, what do you do in that? Yeah, exactly. What do you do in that situation? You're like, well, I guess I'm dead. Like, we can't touch the cart. There's a blade. We can't do anything sneaky because there's a visor that they can see us instantly as soon as we peek around the corner. And again, it's all I'm asking, like setting up these big plays up in the cafe. We saw 3 visors off the the third push. The guy's a monster when it comes to just farming ultimate. I mean, Saucy had a few lackluster EMPs. I honestly did feel like that last one could have waited a little bit. You know that Toronto are going to invest literally everything in this last defense because overtime is 10 seconds away. You can't just use it on the door just to, take out some of the lighting. Maybe they can't see as well. You have to just be able to take out the Genji when he's blading to make sure he can't get the resets on the dash, and the visor as well to make sure he can't get any more support from the Mercy, who's going to be carrying for cover as well.
All right, so again, the cool thing about online tournaments, we go real quick from map to map. Wasn't always the case, but man, we've gotten swift at it. We're going straight into Ilios here. So Ilios, of course, one of those few maps where you can see pretty big changes in gameplay as you go from Lighthouse to Well to probably the biggest change-up of all in Ruins. And going back a little bit, we saw Izar run a lot of Pharah, particularly yesterday, and this is a map where he felt very comfortable running Pharah on at least 2 out of 3 stages.
I hope he runs it again, honestly. I think coupling with the Sombra isn't too bad either, because you're eliminating the need for someone to distract like the backline, right? Because Saucy is going to be so free to do so much damage, because you're going to have the enemy Pharah also, unless they run hit scan into it. Looks like Nero is hovering over that right now, so you're only going to have one support to actually deal with, and that Mercy is then going to have to pick a target who to heal, right? She's going to want to heal the support to make sure there's at least 2 supports on the field healing the tanks, but then she's also going to want to concentrate on Nero, who's up in the sky, and the EMP obviously does clip the wings of both Mercy and the Pharah, sending them like stones to the ground to make sure that tanks can actually touch them. Because normally, if you're running with a tank setup like we're running now, it's only going to be the Diva that can really challenge her in the air.
Well, the biggest part here that's going to be very interesting is that this is the first Pharah v Pharah we've seen all tournament long. It's always been something else versus the Pharah. We haven't seen Pharah v Pharah in the new set, but this should be quick and decisive with the new rockets.
He's just hitting a direct body shot there onto Swimmer already. He takes one for himself, though. Healed quite quickly up. You can see Fried actually on the sidelines using that defense matrix to make sure Izar has a little bit of an easier time. But Asking's going to be on this Hanzo instead of Saucy, changing over to the Sombra like I mentioned before. So that's a lot of danger for Izar. It has to be a little bit more careful here. And you can see Nero already commanding control of the skies from top of the building there. But Saucy already going down. That's bad news for second.
It's nice, 2 early picks. Toronto's Narrow just dunks on Izar, finally lands the second rocket. Both Pharahs not always looking at each other, but when they do, it was quick. Narrow going a little bit further in, and Toronto not only going to get first control, but also way ahead on ult economy early on.
It puts so much pressure on, it does put so much pressure on Haku here, because again, Karkar has to decide who he actually wants to heal in the air. Is it going to be Izar, who's doing a fairly good job on the fire so far, hitting body rockets, or is it going to be a support on the bottom of the floor, who's having to deal with all this incoming fire and the Hanzo also? We have Nano boost round to Dino.
Okay, whoa, nice purple nade coming in from Haku. Got so many people on Toronto Esports. Narrow, gonna try and equalize, make something happen for the team. Holding on to the barrage, looking to the other Pharah, but can't really commit. So much of his team is down, and I think he's just gonna hold off here, Jaws.
I think so. Looks like Friday's going to take out Crackalack, and yes, he does. They're just going to fight on point. Deco just trying to do his best to try and store that point. Although Nero just trying to do his best as well, trying to get out of there ASAP. Although you are on the wrong side of the map, so you might want to... Oh, no, he's not on the wrong side of the map, sorry. They're just asking to spawn now. I'm slightly confused there as I'm trying to control my own cam at the same time. Nero's just going back to spawn. Has got ultimate. He's probably just going to wait for Swimmer to come back through. Asking, switching over to the Soldier, though, decided the hand zone wasn't quite good enough. He wants a little bit more pressure on Isaiah in the air.
It's going to make for the Pharah Soldier setup. Isaya's job going to be a lot harder. You see Fred, though, coming in. Peels for Narrow there. Gets Narrow off. Both teams into it. Nice rocket coming in. Narrow going back the other way. Barrage ready. Self-destruct up. Looking for anything. Car out of the fight already. Ends up running into the decon mine. Narrow going back the other way. 6 on 5. Haku in trouble. Down he goes. Toronto starting to bring this back the other way.
Decon comes up huge, distracts everybody on the side of second win. They're like, okay, so Winston just dove in. Do we follow him? I'm not really sure. He jumped into like 4 people. Oh no, the point's covered in mines. I guess we go to the point as well because like Decon's on it. We need to contest it. Karkar's like opens the front door, greeted with a load of explosives, decides today's not his day. Ends up going back to spawn fairly quickly. Easy flip around. However, now with that, Saucy has had so much time to actually build up this ultimate. He's actually got that EMP, but it's been so slow in actually progressing here. This is going to be the major problem. We're not going to see these EMPs as often because there aren't as many targets as he'd actually like on the ground.
He drops immediately and gets slept.
Slept instantly, so no real damage follow-up here. Akamak is going to go in, but look, you can see Fried already retreating.
Saucy gets back on the Decon on the other side. It's a little bit more even second win would like, especially given the fact that EMP. Nano Boost coming out early here from Haku. And you look to Isaiah. Going back into the fight, barrage ready. This is a slower fight though. At some point, second win, they need to get onto the point. You're gonna see a column move on in, but he's immediately dropped 2 pickups for Toronto, and second win struggling to buy back. Isaiah drops barrage, but immediately punished. Only gets 1. Decon gonna drop the hamster bombs everywhere, and this is looking like Toronto is gonna be taking the first round here on Ilios.
Who needs a Winston when you just got Decon on the on the Minesweeper duty? He is insane on this Hammond. Like, not only is he playing distraction, like every single time they come in to actually try and contest the point, boom, instantly puts mines down. And you saw there asking at the end, just having a whale of a time, got nano boosted for the 400th time in the game with that tactical visor. It was an easy team wipe. And once more, we're seeing a situation where Haku or Karkar are getting isolated and they're instantly dying. And that's exactly like I mentioned at the start of that game, was that's what they need to do. Because at the end of the day, if you've got 2 main supports, you're going to have to then prioritize who you want to heal. If you're the Mercy, you're going to have to help out the Ana at some point. There's no Lucio to kind of speed you out of things and boot people away. You're going to have to then prioritize your Pharah as well, who's up in the air, who's battling a hit scan and another Pharah. Like, it's just almost impossible. We are jumping onto Ruins, though. Asking on the Widowmaker. I don't know how this is going to go, man. Asking just clicks heads like no other.
Asking was dominant in the upper bracket finals yesterday on the Widowmaker. He completely bodied Dalton. And if you can do even a quarter of that here, that could be enough for Toronto to take Ilios outright. Saucy gets slept. Easy completion there by Asking. An execution on the Sombra early on. And the Widow pressure here is so good. Gets a second pickup, and that's more than enough for Toronto. They're going to easily just saunter onto the point after this, and this is bad news for second win.
What was insane there as well is the tanks were actually fighting around this big health, this mega health pack on the outside pavilion that was hacked by Saucy, yet they were still able to actually lose that fight. And that was all on Asking, just clicking bodies, clicking heads, just making it so easy. And that was actually on Dino too. His positioning fairly aggressive on the Ana, and it should be, because yes, you've got to worry about the Genji up in your face, the Sombra, yes, but the problem is, if they get naded, they are long gone. They are far from okay. And Dino's just been, again, so consistent with these bio grenade hits. We've got Asking with the emphasize up now, and Nero has that EMP to work with. He's kind of in a result, 70%, but Saucy nowhere there.
Early EMP from Nero. Asking's one big threat, but so is the Sombra. Isaiah down, nowhere to go while being hacked, and just so much space for a Widowmaker right now. And part of that is that you look at all the other threats you have here. Sombra's doing a heck of a job. Dino has been on point with the bionades, and that's, oh, by the way, Asking's hitting every shot in the back. What do you do?
There's nothing you can do. Widowmaker's a good hero, by the way. She can click heads from a very far distance and one-shot people. Like, Nero had that EMP already up to 20%, and now Izai finally getting that ult online. But you're going to have to commit heavily here. You're going to have to take out Asking. The problem is, you got Nero to deal with in the backline. You leave your supports, he is going to be on top of them.
Asking again in the back. 3 shots in the Ana. No, can't even get Decod, gonna knock him away, but still picks up Fried early. Izar, a blade of his own, moving in. This is where he needs to equalize. Takes down Asking, makes the nano blade work reasonably well, but the fight is over yet. He gets caught by Decod. It wasn't decisive enough, and Toronto, even without the Widow, holding on here. Fighting back, bringing it back the other way, and quite simply, Second Wind wasn't able to do enough in the beginning, but they still might be able to flip. The problem is, now you look at the overall course of the game, they have a long way to go.
Call me a mind reader. What happened? Izai jumped in on the back line, and there was Nero with the machine pistol to the back of the head of the supports, just waiting to just mow them down. They instantly got taken out. However, Second Wind did a fairly good job. Arca was again really aggressive on this Winston, needed to be up in the face. However, Asking now on the high ground, they still have that big control of that mega health pack on the outside pavilion. Sound barrier used a bit earlier on there. They don't Saucy doesn't have EMP, so they used it fairly aggressively.
Yeah, they used it super early, but the self-destruct finds Saucy, so now there really won't be any EMP. Nero, though, ends up falling. Both Sombras out. Your personal data is safe. The hacking is gone, but Izar falling. Dino! DPS Ana on the side! Just when you think the sniper third's gonna be Widow, it's Ana defending herself, just being a rock, and Toronto's gonna retake.
Like, I don't know what, like, who do I look at in this game? Sorry, do I look at Asking? Do I look at Nero here? Do I look at Dino? I don't really know who to look at, I'm going to be honest. Dino with a 2-piece is going to be able to build up to his nano boost extremely quickly, 40% there. However, Ultimate Economy definitely in favor of Second Wind right now. They beat Nano instantly as well. Asking's in trouble.
It's an early nano boost on Akawa as well. He's diving back for the Widow, but he can't go to Asking. Jump wasn't off cooldown time. They have to go back over to the point. They've certainly made a lot of space. They get crack-locking out. They're close to getting the retake here. Akawa going back, slept. Oh, this is dangerous. He might not be able to primal in time. Is able to primal. Man, that was scary. Going in for Dino. Gets him out of the fight. Knocks him into the big health pack, though. Can't finish off the pickup. Meanwhile, Second Wind, they're able to take it, but that was scary.
Oh, okay, it wasn't on that obs feed, but the tail of the Lucio trying to get back onto the map from Karkar, starring Karkar. He spent a good, I don't know, maybe about 30 seconds. He got knocked off and was able to corral himself back on. They did that without a secondary support, so that was pretty impressive, I must say. Nano Boost was used, and so was the sound barrier fairly early on. However, they got the pulse bomb to use. Doesn't stick anybody. And
Saucy's gone.
Early MP.
Saucy got knocked off. Cracklock just sent him off the side. Toronto now looking to get back in. They go up 2-0 here in this best of 5. They're doing just that. 2 early pickups to them here. Cracklock hold on to the self-destruct, winning the Diva v Diva. Just pure numbers on the side. Toronto now. Karkar nowhere to go, nowhere to stall. Toronto gonna retake, and now this might be it. Even gonna be able to get anyone back to that point.
Back in, man. He's got EMP.
Saucy got there. Just in time, but barrier comes in from Toronto. They're ready to clean up the stagger. Akawa down immediately. Oh, Dino almost lands asleep. And this is just desperation now coming in from the attack.
Yeah, Crackalack making mean work of the front line. Now use that EMP straight away. Instant sound barrier to follow that one up. There was no way they were going to be able to get back on. Karkar with the desperation. Sound barrier couldn't quite get it. Toronto Esports though 2-0 up into the survival already. Again, all of the back are Asking and Nero. I think the synergy between these two DPS is just fantastic. There's not a moment where you can tell, like, as soon as the emphasizer pops, Nero jumps straight in on the back line, was able to EMP because he knew exactly where that Lucio was, exactly where the Ana was, completely defenseless. The tanks then follow up. Toronto Esports, I'm just saying, might call it a little bit early, but they might just end up in the finals again against someone else.
Yeah, there are situations in Overwatch series where you go, you know what, it's a 2-0, but there's this strong chance of a reverse sweep. Right now, Second Wind is actually going to have to completely live up to their name and find a second wind because, frankly, this has been very one-sided, and I think you really hit the nail on the head midway through. It's like, I don't know who to watch, and it's absolutely true because so much of Toronto was doing well there. Was it Decod making space? Absolutely. Did Crackalack find good bombs over the course of the series so far? Yes. Is Dino just hitting the nades of his life? Sure. And then let's go to the obvious, Asking, whether it be on Soldier, whether it be on Widow, he's being absolutely dominant right now. So Toronto is firing on all cylinders. And it's you look at Second Wind, it's almost hard to find criticism at this point because, yeah, there's stuff they could be doing better, but you just have to respect how well Toronto is doing right now.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Decon's actually switching up to the Hammond also. Again, like I mentioned in the Lighthouse, he's just playing distraction. He jumps on the point, then Second Wind have to react because they have the point. Do they jump on the point, or do they commit fully to the backline to try and kill off Dino, who's actually on the Ana, who's also doing extremely well, who's been almost perma-pocketing, asking right now, using those nano boosts, like 9 out of 10 times on him. I mean, that's the main situation that they're facing, and Decon's just doing a fantastic job of just corralling the team and just saying, hey, look at me. By the way, I'm on the point. Oh, I've got mines as well. Okay, so you have to run through those, and then you also have to take up my backline because they're also tearing you to pieces. Like, it's super hard to actually pay attention to one person. And asking, yes, he's been popping off, but it's the tanks that are creating space at the end of the day that's doing a lot of work for them. Decon, like I just said, on the Hammond, yes, on the Winston, but Crack-a-lackin' with the defense matrix, we saw it in Lighthouse once more. He's not too afraid using defense matrix to make sure we're seeing Nero just landing those rockets after rockets, give him a little bit more breathing room in the fire versus fire matchup as well.
No doubt. Also, we do have an interesting setup here to update you on the next map. Initially, Second Wind was saying we want to go Dorado, and now they're swapping it over to Lijiang. So a little bit of an interesting change up here, but could mean, Jaws, that the series ends very quickly because Control, as we've seen here, it could go by in a flash. And interesting point here, Assault is yet to be played all tournament long. No one has brought anything to Anubis.
Good. I don't really like Anubis, I'm not gonna lie. It's over too quickly, man. I've got too many memories from my comp games where they end up with like 7+ minutes on the timer just somehow, man. I mean, Lijiang,
do you not enjoy your spirit being crushed through the entire time where you're just like, this is gonna be great? You kind of channel your inner Lucio. It's like, look at this team, we're gonna do great. You get rolled over. Yeah, they take point A immediately, they take point B immediately, and then you're just like, oh, we have. You just feel like your chances to win have just gone into the gutter.
You're like, oh, cool. Began. I guess I just leave the game, save myself, just the torment of actually losing. -50 SR, I don't care. I'll get it back at some point. 7 minutes on the time bank, yeah, not worth my time. Maybe Lijiang's good though for Second Win. We'll have to wait and see. You can't really play Widowmaker on a lot of these maps. I mean, this map specifically, Control Center, you definitely can. I mean, I would like to see a little bit more fire, yes, because I think that's honestly where Isai is actually popping off more often than not against Nero. He's landing a few more body shots, although the fire versus fire, like you said, hasn't been played at all too much, so we'll have to wait and see what they actually want to do. However, your favorite CP had a lot of tank play on these maps. Lijiang's actually super good for tanks because you can just roll at people because there's very few points of ingress onto a lot of these points. Just saying.
We've hit peak goats is what we've hit here. Unleash the barnyard animals because it's about to be a brawl. And this is something where really on a play can dictate what we're about to see. And there's absolutely no chill. We're actually going straight into the first fight. You see that Decon already super deep. A bit separated though. Dino has no sightlines on him, and Decon's gonna fall immediately. You can't get that separated from your Ana.
That was actually beautiful rotation there from Second Wind, just charged straight down the middle. You can see exactly what was going on with Toronto right there. They were like, okay, so we're going to get to point ASAP. We don't exactly know what they're running, obviously, because we haven't actually faced them straight up just yet. They run straight to the point. There were 2 people lagging behind. Akawakas like, oh, there's like 4 people worth of space here. I'll just walk into this and separate the entire team. Easy cap for Second Wind. And Akawaka's going to earn 65% on that shadow already. So they're going to be able to hold forward. Another engagement from Toronto. It's going to go hard and it's going to go fast.
Early engage coming in Toronto. Absolutely no chill. Nice bio-nade by Dino early on. Akawa's going to be able to get healed up. Bio-nade about to fade. He's still alive, but no, finally falls. They're able to finish their play before he can get back into the fight. So you're down to Reinhardt. That's tough. But Decon going to get knocked down. Shield bash running right into him. Here comes Nano Boost though. Toronto certainly wants this. They're still up a man, but now they're going to rotate back to the point. They could go the Fish team fight, but at some point, you gotta change the location. Now I look to Decon. Earthshine about to be up. They open up the grab. Do you drew this here? Up. Well, there's a grab. Now it's time to go grab with the self-destruct from Crack-a-lackin. Gets everyone. What a setup.
Unbelievable from Crack-a-lackin. In fact, the entire team, let's just not put him on him. Nice grab, pinning everybody to the wall there. And as soon as that happens, it's really hard for the Reinhardt to tilt his shield down and go straight under. Easy game, easy life. Crack-a-lackin with the 4K. Decon had that nano boost used fairly early on. And again, Second Wind doing reacting extremely well. They backed off ever so slightly to make sure Decon couldn't go in. Speaking of people going in, Toronto.
We must go deeper. Full Leonardo DiCaprio. We go directly to spawn. We go to spawn. We go for the boop on the Akawa. He goes down early. The barrier engaged by Toronto actually working out, and that's going to let them even up the map.
33%, looking up 40 now. They're going to even up on the percentage. However, we all know Goat super quick to go for this re-engage. Nero has the rally available to him as well, so they're going to have a lot of armor, a lot of extra armor, I should say. Arskin's already had his for a long time, as you can see, underneath that shielding. 60%, however, on that Graviton Surge, but you got to look at the side of second win right now. They're building up to one them fairly quickly. Deco running in straight away, though, takes out Isa.
Early shatter from Akawa, just wanted to get one, but one might have been enough. Finds Dino off the charge, moving back on in, asking. Now he goes, you know, I'm charged up. I really would not want to lose this energy, but I can't fight. Discord orb on me, Nia go away. Look at the stall coming in from Swimmer. Just buys that extra little bit of progress for his team.
They're gonna go in again,
they're going back in. They don't care. Asking, grab up, drops the grab, 3 in it. They're gonna swing the hammer, Narrow right there at the base. But it's still turned back the other way from second win. What a back and forth fight. Second win.
They're going in. They're still going
back in. Why?
Why? Asking doesn't really care. Receives an animal, full HP, goes straight back in. Lost all the armor, but it doesn't really matter. Haku just gets melted on the spot. Asking man mode right now with Dino and Swimmer in his back. That's all you need. An off tank and 2 supports. His fight's still going as the Reinhardt's joined the fray. Aku gets booped straight off the edge. See it later. Nero finds the shift kill onto him. In fact, another one. His car ends up going down. They finally recap at 70%.
Jaws, is really man mode if Asking is invisible? Because it's the only thing that explains how this man is still alive.
What is even happening? I just don't know. 87% out of 90%. They only have one more fight left in them. Rally now up for Eastside. They're going to run straight head on into them.
Oh, Eastside going to get knocked down immediately off the shadow, or not off the shadow, but Asking going to the right-hand side, holding onto the grab, drops the grab to the back, pulls it 4. Transcendence though, going to come out from Haku. No Bionade there yet. They haven't been turned purple. Asking though, no one's looking at him. 90 energy. Eastside blown up, and Asking now gets to pick apart the team. Swimmer might be down, but no one's looking at Asking, and you can't ignore Zarya with this much energy.
That was a beautiful charge from Decod, just removing that Reinhardt shield, and with Izai going down, that is no extra armor from the Brigitte, and no extra healing either. Izai jumping over to the emergency Doomfist, too little too late though. Toronto Esports, they're going to be able to take Night Market in what was a back and forth game. We know it was going to be, at the end of the day, it is GOATs, but Crackalakin setting up perfectly, and we called that back in over in EU Contenders, and Asking is very familiar with this, the RCK bomb. Boom, Graviton Surge goes out. Reinhardt gets removed, or he's just in a position where he can't protect the rest of his team. Self-destruct right on the rest of them. Easy 4K for Crackalakin. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what they go on, whether it's full dive or full hit scan DPS, full projectile, full goats. It doesn't matter. They are still going to run at you, and they're still going to win these fights.
And I think it's just telling the amount of pressure that you had getting put on by Decon to the support line, where Asking was not the biggest of their concerns, when frankly he might have should have been. But now we're gonna get into it. The first fight again, going straight in immediately.
Oh.
Asking to the side, already at almost 8% energy, but Nair and Decon are down, so this is the point where Toronto's gonna bring it back. They need to pick off right now. Crackalakin, D-Mech, only 3 left. Asking gonna fall, and this time it goes a little bit better for second win.
All right, they get Fright's mech, which actually might be fairly important because, again, the Ghost does engage extremely quickly, so he might not be able to actually build that back up, although 35, 36% now looking at maybe so. However, with Crackalakin, you can see there he was on the side, he was alone. He was just getting charged out by the D.Va. Saucy was just carving his name into the mech. 50% already onto that Graviton Surge, you can already see, but Askin, again, doing a really good job. 70% of his own. They're going to go for a re-engage. Only just now, Fried's got back into his mech.
Fried back inside mech, Decon a little bit low, has to back up, get healed. Second win, trying the turn, take advantage, narrow down early. Saucy moving in, Transcendence, they really want to commit. Why not commit now? 2 already down, and second wind holding on to that point. Akala has a shatter, he's going deeper, almost gets the pin, but at some point, rein it back. You've lost your Zarya. Offensive Toronto coming back in, nice shatter, hits 3, moves it, clean it all up. Second wind gonna hold.
Oh, Decon, what are you doing? He just fed ult. He just what? He just pressed Q. He's like, team, you got this, right? Kill feed completely blue, by the way.
Don't shatter
the enemy team. Oh my
He's
goodness.
a strong, independent Reinhardt who needs no shatter to get the job done.
Oh, wait, he's going to need something in this next fight. Asking has got that Graviton Surge. They've got Crackalakan's bomb yet again. Source is going to have to be really careful here. Safe nose bubbles is key right now in order to prevent a lot of that damage coming through.
Asking drops the grab, front line there. Ryan, Makita, who's going to protect them? Self-destruct there from Izar. Going to give them a little bit of space, but can they get out? Izar certainly couldn't. Asking moving in, charged up. Time to melt some fools to the right-hand side. Haku going to die, and Toronto able to bring it back off Asking's grab, and he's already 32% to another.
Alright, the only player I should pin to though is only Brig and the Reinhardt, and the self-destruct didn't kill anybody, but the rest of the team were left completely vulnerable. No shielding available for them, just meant they were completely open and free for everybody else to just rain fire above. And now with the flip over 80%, this is only one fight territory right this second for Toronto. They need to be able to hold this, but look at the ultimate enemy for the second win.
Saucy just sent it away. Crackalakan was there to devour. It's not going to be there anymore. Toronto, they can still win the shatter because the other self-destruct right in their grill. But the barrier from Toronto, they're still healthy. They shrug off every ultimate coming in from the offensive second win. It started with the eat. It started even better with the barrier on the other side. But second win, they won't be denied. They're still moving forward. Decon taken down. Who needs their ultimate to do anything anyways? They're gonna fall. Second win getting right back in.
Oh, beautiful bironate from Dino. They're going to try and stall for a little bit. Crackalakan's mate gets instantly killed, and that'll be Fry chasing him off the edge to his doom. 85%. Now it is one fight. Now 90% is on the clock. They have to be able to stall this one out. However, Nero, he's going to have to be the grace and the saving grace of this team. Activating that rally, just running at that Reinhardt. As soon as the Reinhardt's dead, that's free nade territory for Dino.
Saucy holding on to the grab this time. Can't let me eat it. It's not eaten this time around. But it's a grab on all sides. Everyone's together. No one's fallen at all. It's a wash, but Nero falls. Second win. They're the ones that control it. Someone can get to the point. They let it get captured. It got ninja in the middle of the fight. They gotta go back. Decon moves forward. The offense of Toronto back in.
What is that? I didn't even see that. I was going to grab the bomb.
There was the ninja there. Yeah, someone got to the back.
I think it was Swimmer. It might have just been Swimmer at the back. Just managed to get the miracle back cap, and they won the fight on top of it as well. Second wind. What?
Swimmer moonlights as a stealth submarine, and no one had any sonar to deal with that, apparently, is what we just saw. Asking now close to another grab. Toronto would love to put this way right here, right now. 100% energy for Asking. He's gonna build up the grab. Grab's ready, moving forward. Asking, waiting. Not gonna use it here just yet. They're buying time. We are one fight territory, and it's second win on the verge of being eliminated. Barrier up. Asking, grab. Eat it!
He's gonna eat it again! Oh, slipped! Okalaka got booped up, instantly slept. Self-destruct goes off before he gets two as well. Graviton Surge onto Swimmer, and Kaka getting caught in it all. Actually received a barrier from Saucy at the end to make sure he survived. Ends up getting pinned, but he's also slept. It's only 2 demons and a support for the point.
They gotta get back to the point and set the second win to retake here. It's 99-99. It's pure pandemonium. Dino is extinct now, taken down.
It's five. They're gonna go for 5. Decon moving forwards. It's got Nano. This is it. It's EP.
Sound barrier in Toronto on the verge of going to the grand finals. Asking now on the emergency Hammond, spinning full washing machine in effect. Put it on a high cycle as Toronto, they need a little bit more, but no one's getting any pickoffs. Karkar finally falls. Oh, right on Earth Shatter coming in from a column, takes them too.
Another sleep. No, that was Nero. She getting that shield back. Self-destruct launched into air, but Decon once again blocking that one out with ease. They're going to be able to get back onto the point, but Asking solo yet still alive. He has 85% on the mines. He's going to be able to lay that one out. Now a main heal goes down. Finally, Decon is taken care of as we are seeing the emergency Doomfist. Asking, he gets his mines completely denied, interrupted in mid-animation. It is still going on as Dino's left alive as well. What is happening?
I don't know what's going on anymore. What is my life? Toronto now might be about to take it. Second win. They're still the ones that control the point. He's going to fall. Overtime. Now on verge of ticking down. Toronto fights back. They're going to the grand finals.
What was that? Oh my goodness, that was the longest overtime I've ever seen. Asking coming back on the wrecking ball, had his minds eaten, but just stalled for so long, spinning around like the washing machine cycle. Maybe they need to set it to high. We're going to see the play of the game. I saw Kawaka with the shatter, but some fortunate commiserations to them. Toronto with a 3-0 sweep heading to the finals versus LNL.
I actually just don't know what we just that was easily one of the most absurd control center fights I have ever seen. Like, honestly, what was all of that?
That's exactly what I typed into the lobby just then. That was an absolutely insane stall. And they said, I'll give you a response. I said, what was that in the lobby chat? They just say, goat smile, boys. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what happened to that, but we are going to look into the replays, jumping onto the Hollywood map, asking, this is the combination that was just so important for them to just pull off here. You can see Nero jumps in with the EMP, barriers erased, asking, that's a very easy deadeye for him, takes out 2. I mean, just roll the replays to the last fight, man, that's all we need.
Yeah, clearly. I think the best part is that, you know, all the turns we get to see what chat is saying to all this. We're watching the replays here. We have pro players in chat just saying, I don't know what's going on. We've casted a lot of Overwatch, Josh. You didn't know what was going on. It was bodies. It was just pure pandemonium. Yeah, you have the gravy in there, color hex, reinforced. No one actually knew what was going on.
Oh dear. If only. I'm telling you, that's the only replay we needed was that entire fight, but I'm pretty sure that lasted longer than some of the actual maps that went on. Like, I'm just saying. At that point, it's like you step off the point for like a 0.1 of a second and it's instantly dead, gone. Like, I don't know. But there was a lot of big plays that happened. And I want to say the Crack-a-Lackin play that we did see, again, it was so well orchestrated, asking, just pinning everybody to the side room and then removing the Reinhardt shield or just sliding the bomb under, perfectly played. And you can see why Toronto Esports have made it this far. The rematch as well versus LN on the finals coming up. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto, they're looking super good. I think that we're just going to get a redux here as we move into LNL versus Toronto, and that's going to be a great match. But, guys, well, hang on. Before we go to break, we have to talk about our sponsors. I was about to throw it a break, and how dare I? Let's take a look here. You know, look below our cameras. We're not important. What's important is what's below us. Cooler Master, able to cool your PC, able to give your PC a great place to live in. Lots of cool peripherals that you can buy from them. Twitch, of course. Well, you're watching us on Twitch right now. They're the ones that help make this happen. They put us on the front page, always helping esports back to the very beginning. Sennheiser, just treat your ears. Fantastic audio products. You won't go wrong. Plextor, you know, your game's loading a little bit slow. Get a new SSD. Consider Plextor. They're great for it. Soylent, usually leave them for last, but you know what? Let's talk about them now. I just can't wait. You know, is cooking pain for you? Is eating taking up too much of your time? Just grab Soylent. You'll handle all your nutritional needs. You'll feel great. You'll save money, and you will be just fantastic. The best you that you've ever had. And last but not least, ViewSonic. Monitors are important. Your eyes need to look at them quite a bit. Again, just do the right thing. Get a ViewSonic monitor. Make it something good.
You know, maybe they could sponsor my solo queue games, because I swear to God, half of them don't have the screens turned on, but that's just me.
Oh, that's the real talk here. That's like the after dark side of things, but we're bringing to you now because it's real talk. You need to know it. But guys, that was our lower bracket match. We have one match left today. Jaws, thank you so much for coming in and joining us on the broadcast. It was a pleasure, man. Hope to cast again soon.
Hell yeah. Oh, man. If I could just cast that last game again, I'll be the happiest man alive. Yeah, it's been good, man. I appreciate you having me on. It's been a whole lot of fun. I can't wait for the next game.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, the grand finals coming right at you.